things are definitely looking good right now for the Raptors. Obviously, like, sentiments at times can be fluctuating. Sometimes fans are happy, sometimes fans are sad. But if you zoom out and look at the Raptors season as a whole, as we get to the midway stage of the season, things are looking really good for this Raptors team. And I think we should slow down for a second and really appreciate that. And this is why. You know, the Raptors came into the season with the expectation of, like, you know, I think realistically, sure, there's fans out there saying, I knew they'd be this good. I said they'd be this good. I think realistically, fans were coming into the season expecting, okay, we're probably going to be a play-in team. We definitely are good enough to be a top 6 team. But play-in and playoffs should be, like, okay. That should be, like, met expectations for this Raptors team. Coming into the season, their projection for wins was like 39.5, 40. They were supposed to be around a 500 team, which is not like super ideal in the NBA. You either want to be really good or really bad. The Raptors seem somewhere in the middle. But there always was that upper tier performance they could bring this season where they could make the playoffs. And sure, there's a lot of this season left, but for a team that was projected to be just under 500, you really should be finding it hard pressed to actually complain about the way things are right now. The Raptors are currently 4th in the NBA's Eastern Conference. They are 25-17. They are 5.5 games back of 1st. They are 1 game back of 2nd. 1.5 games up on 5th. Now, granted, they still only are 2 games up on a play-in tournament spot where the Cleveland Cavaliers currently sit. But the Raptors, like, it has been good. Other than, like, one pocket where they were losing a ton of games, it has been really, really good for the Raptors this season. And again, like, it's important, you know, we've had some bad losses. We've had some really good wins as well. Like, it's easy to get down when the Raptors lose a bad game, have a bad performance, get blown out by the 76ers, something or another. But, like, when you really think about it, like, could you imagine at the start of the season if somebody said, like, yeah, 42 games into the season, you're going to be 25-17, you're going to be the 4 seed in the East, 1 game out of 2nd. What? Are you really? Awesome. Like, that's great. Like, that's fantastic. And that's where the Raptors are at. So I think it's really important to appreciate that aspect of where things have gone this season. But let's try and decipher as well why that's the case. Why are they here? What have they done to put themselves into this position? So at the start of the season, I would have said, like, you know, it's great they're coming in with the mentality of being a defense-first team. You know, we saw I think it all started with Summer League even, where the Raptors put a large focus on instilling this dogged mentality, this defense-first mentality, work for your teammate, one for all for one, all that good stuff. They really wanted to instill that early on in the offseason, which was fantastic. And when we saw players at Media Day, it really felt like everyone was buying into that. You know, you've got Scotty Barnes, who's an all-star caliber player. Brandon Ingram's an all-star caliber player. Maybe RJ Barrett, Emmanuel quickly coming to the season, perhaps on the fringe. What do you mean? Maybe necessarily call them fringe all-stars, but, like, you know, extremely talented players, high-quality starting center in Jakob Poeltl. Like, this is what we were coming to the season with. You know, things and the way individuals have played this season, and we'll touch on that. Some have played better than others, but, like, you had, like, 5 high-quality plus players in your starting 5, and the mood at Media Day was to work for the team, to do what's best for the team. And a lot of players have done that, and we've seen those elements of success on the floor. Morale is very high for this team, and as a result, again, you have this Raptors team punching pretty well above their rate at this current state. So I think that's a major contributor. But even still, even with that defensive-first mentality and the way they were thinking, the mindset coming into the season, it still felt like, to me, this was a team that was going to struggle to gel offensively, but maybe had enough upper-tier talent there that they could sustain kind of a middle-of-the-pack sort of offense. And then the hope was defensively they could be a top 10 defense. Didn't seem like they had, like, the pieces to be there, but maybe their approach to things, and hopefully the way they finished last season defensively, hopefully that does help. And to start the season, that was flipped. Like, that was completely flipped. The Raptors' offense was spectacular to start the season. Defense was just trying to catch up. Well, now we're at the midway stage of the season, much larger of a sample size. Here is where we sit. So, from an offensive rating perspective, the Raptors are 18th. A little bit lower than mid-pack, which is slightly, maybe not concerning, but like upsetting, because they've got the players to be better than that. And I think that it was like 12 or so game window when RJ Barrett was out, the Raptors had the worst offense in the NBA in that stretch, like literally the worst. That plays a part. And, maybe with a larger, if we increase this sample the rest of the way, we should be getting back into hopefully the 15 to 10 range. But still, wanted to see that a bit higher. Where the Raptors have found their success this season, and it's come in a lot of games where the Raptors are not playing well, but still winning. And why they cannot play well and still win a lot of these games is because they just don't give up a ton of points. The Raptors currently have the 4th best defense in the entire NBA, 4th best defensive rating in the NBA. That is so fantastic to see. Scottie Barnes is certainly a prime defensive player of the year candidate. I would say he's in the top 5 or 6 players for that award at the halfway stage of the season. I think on top of that, he's been the do-it-all star for the Raptors, and he should absolutely be an all-star. And again, he should be in these defensive player of the year conversations. But the Raptors being able to turn a team on paper, this shouldn't be that terrific of a defense. They've been able to outwork teams. They've been able to out-hustle teams and outplay teams because of how well they have played on defense this season. And they have enough firepower on offense to get over some of the fit concerns, and in the recent stretch of games at least, to get over some of the injury concerns that they are facing as well. Because we haven't been healthy for a while, and we're still finding ways to win games. So, as I mentioned, it feels like Scottie Barnes has been the driving force for this team, but he has not been alone. Barnes has been, I think, the best performer. 19.4 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 5.4 assists, above 50% shooting from the field, which is a big upgrade compared to last year. Solid three-point shooting. I'll absolutely take Scottie Barnes at 33.6% three-point shooting. And he's doing this while operating at a defensive player of the year level. Truly remarkable. Do-it-all type of player. Brandon Ingram has been exactly what we've wanted him to be. He's been a high-tier scorer, 22 points per game. He's doing so decently efficiently. He's putting up decent volume from 3, hitting 35%, which is completely acceptable. He's putting in good work on defense. He's putting in good work in other stats, 6.1 assists, 6.1 rebounds, 3.7 assists. And I think the biggest thing we're looking for is just he gets buckets. And he gets buckets in the clutch. There's been a few games, him specifically, has gotten us over the line. In terms of RJ Barrett, he has done everything you could have possibly asked of him this season. He's been extremely efficient. He's putting up almost 20 points per game. He's shooting above 35% from 3. And he's playing the role. That still allows Barnes and Ingram to thrive as the main pieces of the team. You have to really give tons and tons of credit to RJ Barrett for that. Sandro Mamukelashvili has been a revelation of a free agent signing. Colin Murray-Boyle has been a revelation of a 9th overall pick. We've had issues with Jakob Poeltl, Emmanuel Quickley, but guys like even Jamal Shed chipping in a lot, playing good minutes. So even though we've had some not great performance, it's not been great for Emmanuel Quickley and Jakob Poeltl. We've had enough good performances. We've had enough off the bench when Walter hasn't really kicked on. Grady Dick hasn't really kicked on. Abaji hasn't played up to the same level as last year. We've had enough. We've had enough with the team this season. There's been a lot of upper tier talent that has put us through and gotten us over the line in a bunch of games this season. So, Raptors fans, I think where we sit right now should be extremely happy. Look, realistically, coming to the season, it was a 500 team. Now, we're 25-17. We're the 4 seed. I think we're, definite's a strong word. I think we definitely should get at least 1 All-Star. I think there's a possibility of 2 with Brandon Ingram maybe slipping into that conversation. As of right now, the Raptors, pulling up some sportsbook odds here. We have FanDuel. minus 550 to make the playoffs. If you devig the market, there's an 81.36% chance they make the playoffs at this point. This is, if you like asked me at the start of the season, I would say this is like upper 20, maybe even 10th percentile, up like a top 10% sort of outcome for the first half of the season. So I'm extremely pleased. I am extremely pleased. But, it's a long season. It's been a long season so far, and this is only halfway. We got another whole half to do this. Lots of changes could happen by way of trades, by, player performances fluctuating. But as it stands right now, I really think, fans who are upset about this, that, or the other, really take a step back and appreciate how well this season has gone for the Raptors.